Indonesian Foreign Affairs Ministry, U.S.-Europe Director General, Mr. Gede Ngurah Swajaya. Pak Ngurah, it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
So
Happy to be here.
Well, it's great that now we can have guests over again and really have one-on-one talks in regards to issues that we really want to familiarize ourselves with. And just straight away, President Joko Widodo just returned from the U.S. From the US-ASEAN Special Summit. And what were actually the key takeaways from this particular summit?
Well, I think the significant importance of this special summit is this is the first in-person summit between ASEAN and the dialogue partners, which is the US. And of course, they are celebrating the 45th anniversary of dialogue relation between US and ASEAN. And what they agreed after the meeting is a joint vision statement, which will certainly pave the way to elevate the partnership between ASEAN and the US into a strategic comprehensive partnership, which is the highest level of partnership, which hopefully will be adopted in the ASEAN-US Summit in November. But of course, in addition to that, there are a number of collaborations, which is, I think now is timely and also very urgent. We are talking about the pandemic, we are talking about health cooperation. This is not about ensuring that most people can get a vaccine in their arms, but at the same time, we will also better prepare in the future. And the other emphasis is, of course, we are talking about the economic cooperation. So this is not only cooperation in terms of security and defense, but economic cooperation. And I think follow-up to the summit, there will be a launching by the US on the Indo-Pacific economic framework.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so before we go into the Indo-Pacific, I understand that Indonesia is the coordinator for ASEAN-US relation, but can you give us a better understanding again, what is the meaning and what's the responsibility of this role?
Yes, I think people has to share more often about this. Well, Indonesia is the country coordinator for the ASEAN-US dialogue partnership until 2024. Each of the ASEAN member states take turn. Indonesia before was country coordinator of Russia. Now we are country coordinator of the US. What Indonesia is doing is, of course, coordinating, like for this special summit that we organize. First, of course, the discussion between the US delegation and Indonesian delegation, and we relay that and also agree among ASEAN. And then, of course, that is an important work by Indonesia in order to make sure that the summit will be, happening successfully.
Oh, it's very interesting because it means that we have more roles than a lot of people think that we do.
Very important and strategic role.
Yes, very, very important. But, both ASEAN and US have made, references, and you mentioned before, to the Indo-Pacific Economic Partnership. Now, this is something new. We have spoken to some of our VOA counterparts, and they're very looking forward to introduce this particular, introduce the bylaws on this particular collaboration. Could you please enlighten us and really explain this particular economic partnership? What does it entail, and and how will this benefit Indonesia and also ASEAN in the long time run?
Certainly, it will be more engagement, more intensified engagement between the US and ASEAN. So the US has already been saying that they are not a visiting power here. They are resident power in the region. And being resident power, of course, the engagement should not be limited to a certain type of cooperation. And this economic engagement will entails about, we are talking about infrastructure development.
Yes.
We are talking about energy transition. We are talking about investment. We are talking about trade. So more and more interaction in terms of the economy. I think this will certainly pave the way of a better and quality of dialogues. Because this is, let me also just very briefly highlight why Indo-Pacific, why the ASEAN outlook on Indo-Pacific. Of course, we see that here in the region, like in many other regions, we have seen the geopolitical dynamic.
Yes.
Where the emphasis of this geopolitical dynamic, unfortunately, is competition and rivalries. And I think this is where Indonesia play a very important role to bring ASEAN to develop this ASEAN outlook, which is basically we are talking about more dialogues, more collaboration, more partnerships, so then trust can be built. So this trust can be also bridged.
Yeah, and hopefully to also more collaboration and hopefully investment as well.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the investment, take for example bilaterally in American investment to Indonesia, we have seen last year an increase of 200%.
Yeah.
And trade is also an increase of 36% bilaterally. So we see that ASEAN-US trade is already $360 billion.
Wow.
So that is,
That's a big
and the other fascinating sectors that is also very potential on digital economy. Indonesia is the largest player here.
Yes, that's right. Well, you know what? We will return with you shortly because we are not done yet talking about Indonesia's role in the Indo-Pacific, of course. And we'll have more discussion after the break with Pak Ngurah. So make sure you stay tuned with us on the Zero News Show.